Greetings everyone, my name is Addervale, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. In today's morning live stream, I'll be covering a combination of both Veerspin levels and other levels I find online, primarily focusing on the former. Here are the rules. I'll be covering levels for about 2-ish hours, then showcase art, and a separate stream, memes plus reacts. And on a side note, happy 30th anniversary to Sonic 3. So, this weekend's schedule is going to be lighter, as this oncoming week is the Steam Next Fest, so more streams then. I'll likely only have 2 or 3 streams this weekend. This one and tomorrow morning will be Batman the video game for the NES by Sunsoft. I haven't seen the trailer for Sonic Movie 3 yet. So without further ado, let us begin with this stage, Rusty Ruined Palace by Oscar, with 69 plays and a score of 23. Sonic 3D Blast. Yeah, I saw the bundle. My only complaint is really with the name. Like, I Turn on Noctis, you could argue is Souls-like, but 9 Years of Shadows, no. It's much closer to Symphony of the Night. Even After Image is not really Souls-like, it's more like Symphony of the Night. Like, 2 of the 3 games are arguably not considered Souls-like Metroidvanias. Or Hollow Knight likes. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty good bundle. Yeah, I can see some of the resemblances. Yep, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Looks like we'll be getting a Westopolis and another city. Oh, even got the shadows of the pillars. Neat. I guess my main issue with that isn't so much the games provided, it's the name. It's more so what the name they gave the bundle, because it doesn't seem accurate. But all of those games there are very solid picks. I mean, we can do what the comics did and keep the guns. The guns weren't the problem with that. Like, there's way more stuff that was not done right there. The guns were the least of the problem, really. And remember, when the Steam Next Fest is actually up, you can nominate a primary and secondary game for, or primary and secondary demo for me to cover. Just like the last times. Exactly. And honestly, the gunplay was one of the things that STH actually did somewhat decently. Like, I'm of the opinion that if someone were to fix all the glitches and weird polish, weird jank, it would still not be good. It would still have many other problems to fix, like the level design, story, character balancing, progression. Like take this for example, many props to Chaos X's 06 fan game. It's pretty much fixed most of the glitches and is polishing up a lot of the rough edges, but I still don't think that's a good game because, well, 06 it's staying pretty close to 06 outside the bug fixes, which is still quite a big effort, especially for one person. I'm not gonna underestimate that. I'm proud of what they've done. It's just that, well, seeing all the other flaws 06 I believe has, or I interpret has, at best it's gonna be okay for me. Again, I give a lot of credit to Chaos X because they actually made 06 fun to play. Like, really fun, and they fixed Silver. Alright. Gotta hit the top. Oh. I mean, I may play that in the future if I really want to, play an 06 thing, because that's actually fun there. But still. Okay. Here I take double the hits. The only thing of 06 I say is underrated is the music. That's the only thing of that game I consider to be good. I'd say that for when translating this into Mega Man, I think he did a decent enough job. We don't really have the ball and chains, so close enough. That's fine. As you know, I tend to be nicer to games, but even I have limits. I tried to see what they did successfully, or tried to, but exactly. Oh, okay, we did this already. Did I have anything else? Nope. Okay. I'll put a note down in case Andrew comes along and posts something that's not an X-Mod level. Second up is Glasswater Contest View by Jedox74. 18 play, score 5. We can worry about that later, Jaden. The next few months are gonna be kind of packed. Like, right after the Steam X Fest stuff is done, the following week after that, we're starting Superstar Saga. Okay, that's a pretty start. Aw, that's nice. Like, tomorrow we're finishing Batman the video game for the NES, then the Steam X Fest demos, then the week after that Superstar Saga is starting up. Maybe along the same time I'll also begin Code Bunny. I mean, this is pretty, but it's basically the same screen setup, but with different aesthetics. Which if this is what the stage is going for, it's fine. I see. I mean, some of these are pretty neat, but I'm not so much an aesthetics guy. Yep, Your level will be 4'd up. Adorable. Ah, here's everything. Roll time. And now we fight. Well, at least there is some battle. Okay, let's see. Yeah. I see. It's always gonna be Pirate Man, but the person above is gonna be different. What can Bubble Man do up there anyways? His attacks can't reach me. Crush. Last one. Squish. Yeah, in 2023, I feel like I focused a little bit too much on Let's Tries and not enough on Let's Plays and the similar ones. Not saying that the demos were bad per se, but there was a certain shift in focus. This year, I want to focus a bit more on Let's Plays and stuff like Jam Jaunt, where I rapidly go through sample multiple Game Jam games. I know, trying to make us feel bad. So yeah, at least every month I want to try finishing at least one game. 1 to 2. Like one, maybe one, we can always have one longer form LP going and one short to medium length. Number 3 up is Urbane Nocturne by Dragonetto. 116 plays and a score of 57. Let's see. If it's pretty close to release, there's probably going to be a demo for Bo. You know, to bring attention. When I say pretty close, I'm also including like later this year. The last stage is mostly just an aesthetic showcase, and then the boss fights at the end, which themselves are fine I guess, but not too difficult. As for this next fest, I plan on covering probably at least, okay, 7 to 10 demos. Like, one of them is definitely going to be a 2D action platformer. Another one's going to be a Metroidvania. Something's going to be a roguelite. Maybe also a shooter somewhere along the lines. Something I don't usually cover on the channel. And the rest are wildcards. I think I could jump down, but I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah. The way this is set up, I can't just cheese it like that. Here comes the scaffolding. Or rather, here falls the scaffolding. I do want that. What? Okay. Hitbox. Number 3 times the charm. Hop, hop, hop. Up to it. It's a more straightforward, traditional level, more akin to the length of the NES games, between the NES games and fan games. It's about as it's perfectly geared for someone who is between intermediate and basic skilled. It'll pose a reasonable challenge for them. The last section may be a bit tricky though. I've seen it several hundred times before, so it's not tricky for me, but for someone who is intermediate or less skilled, it could be hard. This boss fight, of course, is the hardest part, because it's Concrete Man with lasers. And rain, can't forget the rain. Simple state, well, a little bit more, fairly straightforward level, but gets the job done. Alright. Fourth up is Mini Rocket Maze by Adorable Wiener. 18 plays, score -4. Hello there. Okay, I need to damage boost. Oh, I see the problem. If I'm not careful, it'll clip up through these blocks. I see where this is going. It is also a bit offset from my position, so I need to be careful. Wait. How fast it moves is also dependent on how it is relative to my position. Alright, oh, wait. Slow down. There we go. Neat idea for one screen maze. When I saw the title, I was expecting it to be something different, but this is a more creative take on that. The repeated sound effect is a bit annoying, but other than that, it's actually a reasonable challenge. I understand why I got the negative score though, because if you don't know about the tiptoeing and relative positioning, it can become a bit frustrating. But thank you for sending it. Yeah, I've seen the 3 different types of arc weldies. The original one, the Frost one, and the Elect one. Or the Elect Wall one. Fifth up is Mega Man 2 Mega Mix Part 1 by Mr. Doc Robot. Wait. Hang on. Haven't I played this before? Let me check. Like, I know I've been playing these in series, so I know I played a Mega Mix for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think. That's why it makes me a bit suspicious about this one, so give me a sec. I guess I didn't cover this. Okay, so this is the remix of the Mega Mix. Ah, yeah, that's what I... So they redone it. Gotcha. Fifth up is Mega Man 2 Mega Mix Part 1 by Mr. Dog Robot, 66 plays and a score 31. Now, I did play a Mega Man 2 Mega Mix by the same level designer in the past. This is a remix of that previous Mega Mix. So, Mega Mix, Mega Mix. Roll time. Ah, and we can escape early if you want. No charge room, but this is roll. She has the combo already. Mega Remix. And she can pierce her enemy guards, so even better. That's new. We have checkpoints in the middle of these Mega Mix levels. Before we only had a checkpoint just before the boss fight. Ignore the atomic chickens. Hey, this time this actually had an actual gimmick. The needle presses, that is. Hey, Woody. Yeah, I'm assuming that there's gonna be checkpoints in the middle of these Mega Mix sections. Heatman's not part of the engine, so I guess... it's gonna be... Layman? Oh yeah, speaking of which, there are a few other Mega Man fan games I do wish to cover, but I'll hold off from them to cover some more indie games. Like, I know there's Rockman 4B, and Mega Man 1 again, not to mention there's still A Day in the Limelight 2, and on the more goofy side, Mega Man in Paradise, but I'll save those for later. Oh yeah, and Proto Man's Adventure. Can't forget about that. That's it, I'm just going in. Thought so. He's the closest one to being Heat Man. I knew I was not gonna win that. I took too much damage from the mech armor. Now perfect. Item 1 and the atomic fire are mine. Oh, that's nice to hear, Oscar. Let's get the other powerless weapon. More actual gimmicks for stages. Well, that's to count the big fish as a gimmick from earlier in the base game. Hey, game idea guy, welcome! Part of the reason why I picked Roll was due to this. The awesome 3-hit combo. Which cannot be disabled. Seeing as we're doing this in reverse order, Metal Man's next. Could have made it. Only 2 moles. Bubble Lead, unlike the base game, or the game this is based off of, is actually a beast. Poor blockies. They're no problem whatsoever now. This is one of the shorter recreations. Like, compared with the first one, like, or Heatman, or even Heatman, this was... well... This is the fight that may cause some problems. Let's... all this do this way. During the rematch in part 2, I'm just gonna use Metal Blade. This works well as a secondary, even though it is technically not a secondary. Let's see, that'll be Quick Man. Force Beam time. I wish in the original 2 the room was more designed like this. Still not the way to introduce force beams. Oh. Well, that's one way to force me to slow down, I guess. At least with this room, you can actually go back and reset if you fail something. I understand that some of these recreations are going to be harder than others. I find it strange that the lengths vary so much. For a moment there, I was worried he'd only take 1 damage from the broom. But no, he takes double damage just like the Buster. Which means Roll is the best character to fight him with. Assuming you wish the damage boost, that is. Flashman. Welp, so much for that. Backup strat. Wait up, can I get in through there? Yep. Alternate route. You're easier than Flashman. Okay. Crash then. Well, I should have just used item 1 then. Oh my. Now this was actually a fun use of item tree. That worked. Welcome to the stream, Turta. Glad you can make it. Just playing some Maker. Feel free to send your levels. Almost. If I just jumped again, I could have made it. When I lack the good way to fight them like that, like, I'm just gonna use this. For situations like Metal Man or Crash Man, I'm just gonna pull out this. They're the two main bosses where I really wish I had a projectile weapon instead. As I can't easily pull off the combo. Go ahead, fire. Let's see, Crash is weak to air shooter. It's been a while. The air tikis are wider than I remembered them. They're wearing cool shades this time though, so it makes up for that. Yes. Give me a restoration. It just got re-released. Okay. Alright, I'm putting that on my list. I wanted to cover X-Nest for quite a while, but I couldn't because it was basically unplayable at those speeds. But seeing as it's now fixed, sure, I'll be happy to play through it. I'm not going to play through the original Mega Man next because that's... Okay, I may play through the original Mega Man next as April Fools, but it's going to be... It's quite something, I guess. Yeah, I want to at least give all the weapons some time in the limelight. To be fair, if I was actually fighting Airman, I think this room would be even more broken. Let's see, air shooter is beaten by the shield, so that's everything. Are these in order? Oh, yeah, you put item... Okay. Yeah, this should be over... Item 1 should be up here, item 2 should be here. The way it is right now, it's in the middle of the list. When in reality, it should be on one side of the list. That's how it usually is in Mega Man games and fan games. They put all the utilities on one side of the list. They don't try to break it up in the middle because it can be a bit awkward. For instance, what if you have to bring out item 2 in a pinch? What happened to Batman Returns? I think it did a better job than the original Mega Mix, so yeah. Special items should always be at the back of the list. Yeah. I would put them either in the back or if we really need to front, but back please. Although I do wish more Mega Man fan games did something similar to Shattered Diamond, and that is allow you to reorder the weapons. Like in multiple fan games, I've always wished that the weapon orders could be a bit more customizable, or I could change the order of what weapons are more easily accessible. Alright. Because there's no other levels on the list, you can take priority, Agila. Sixth up is Bass, the Speed Demon by Snoozy. 52 plays and a score of 17. Let's go. Okay. All I remember from X Next was the really fast gameplay speed, kind of unplayable, 3 different storylines, and one of the characters looked very close to some sort of Pac-Man cousin. We aren't even playing Batman Returns. That's what was confusing me. We're playing Batman the video game, and if you have enough time, Batman the Return of Joker. Collect the keys before everything disappears. Like, no one has actually recommended Batman Returns right now. Pixel Boy recommended Batman the video game. You can only damage it when its mouth is opened. Neat. If I understand correctly, Batman Returns is a beat-em-up. The 2 games I recommended are 2D action platformers, or the one. And from what I tested from me testing out the controls, it is going to be a difficult experience, if I understand it correctly. This is a pretty cool level, taking full advantage of Bass's dashing and double jumping. Hurry up! I even got 1 spare key. Nice. Yeah, I'd say this is the best level of this episode so far. It is straightforward for the most part, but the main challenge is the execution barrier. Will I die? Nope. Like, very solidly put together. Thank you for sending it. Hey, Iwumi. Welcome to the stream. Alright, Kato, you're up next. Seventh up is Mega Man Land Hail Man Boss Fight by Zamir Rocker. 0 play, score 0. Freshly uploaded. Just the boss fight though? It's just Freeze Man in a square arena. Like, we've seen this dozens of times by this point. If you're gonna send in the boss fight like this, at least make it a very traditional square arena. Like, put some obstacles or gimmicks in there. Or change the shape to be more uneven. Or is there more? Okay, here it is. But that's also easily fixable. Okay, that's different because now I have to memorize where the icicles are actually. That is the one change I do like. Or found neat. Neat part 2, but still kinda simplistic. I would vary up the terrain more. Alright, yeah, GG. It's too basic for me by this point, so I can't really thumbs it up. Oh. It's been a while, hasn't it? Perhaps. Like, if you're gonna have something like this, either increase the number of encounters with checkpoints, please. And or change up the arenas more. Like, the first phase should have been the second phase, and the second phase should have been something different. Do something more to change up the traditional Freeze Man encounter, as many other stages have done the same thing, but actually I had a stage before it. Like, I prefer, like, 2 or 3 phases is fine, but please make them more different. Unless this is some sort of, we're finding Freeze Man throughout a stage sort of deal. Alright. Alright, it's their time to shine. 8 up is Mega Man Altogether Level 012 Accelerate Before the Annihilating Explosion by Orlando Masuro. 8 plays and a score of 1. I also heard that you're drawing some, I also heard you're drawing some manga, Iwumi. That sounds exciting. Thought so. Sure, base. Grab this music. Yep, this is Orlando, so we get to select the music. Let me know when the first batch of pages is up. I'd be happy to showcase it at the end of these streams. Like, if it was just a stage, if there was a stage before it, 2 is sufficient, but for a stage just focusing on the boss fight, there should be more stuff to it. Maybe 6 would be excessive, but 3 or 4. But more differentiation. I see. I see. I think he saw you ask about Webtoon, but as you figured out, it's not going to be the best fit. Grab keys for the shop later. I will be starting out as an indie, so more likely than not self-publishing. That's how most indie developers or indie artists start from. Self-publishing. Unless they have something that's really promising or they have already a very die-hard built-in fan base, that's how they begin. Do you have any other artist pages or sites you publish your art to? And if so, I see, you post occasionally on Tumblr. Typically, then this is just me speaking from my opinion base from what I've seen. Typically, you want to start, if you're going to start with a comic or manga or webtoon or a similar series, you want to start small and work your way up, or start a bit more simplistic and work your way upwards. And one of the most important things about this process is be consistent with your posting schedule. People like consistency. And also, don't make your updates too infrequent, especially as a newcomer, or people, or someone new to this, or who doesn't have as quite an established fan base. Monthly. How many pages per month? How do we deal with you? Okay. So, you'll have 60 pages in the first chapter. It's going to be a shonen manga. And then 40-45 pages for each chapter. So, if I understand it right, you'll be posting one chapter per month. That is a lot more detailed than that is a lot more material than I expected. I was gonna say you should do something like one or a few pages per week, but if we're gonna have something like 60 to 40 pages per month, that changes the metric. Like typically when I see comic artists or similar web artists art, they usually do the artwork on a weekly basis and consistently release on that schedule. Or if they're even more dedicated, more than weekly. Exactly. But they also had the added advantage of running on Shonen Jump, which already has a built-in fan base. Oh yeah. I'm just comparing this with all those more indie comics that are released on a weekly basis. At least from newcomers. For manga, it is different, though. You are right. But mostly when I read web stuff like that, it's web comics. Alright, today I learned. I'm just comparing this to what I know and more experience with, and what most of the bigger series got their start from. Like I said, I don't really pay as much attention to manga, so my information on it is like 10 or 15 years out of date. Or 20. When I said 20... well, excuse me. When I said something like weekly, I was more referring to stuff like 5 pages per week. Or, if you want to be more daring, 10 pages. Or, depending on the complexity, 1 or 2 pages per week. But again, it depends. Like, if you're gonna do something weekly, I would never advise 40 pages per week. Like, oh my goodness, not without an entire team behind that. That'd be more absurd. Now, if it was something more like a 4-coma comic, sure, that could be done easily weekly. Neat stage, thank you for sending it. Alright, and now to put my full focus on this. Typically for people just getting into for creators getting into manga or any kind of webcomic or series, people like consistency. Like, people like seeing if there's a consistent schedule for, especially from up-and-coming artists or creators. However, what they also like is seeing that they don't... And the thing about the consistency is that if they post more often on a consistent schedule, like monthly versus weekly, there's also a greater chance of newcomers actually seeing the material and actually watching it, or adding it to the read later lists, or continuously following along. Whereas if you do a burst release of 1 chapter or 40 pages every month, it's going to be a bit, unless they have some more advanced recommendation algorithms than I'm thinking, it's going to be harder for people to find your material. Like, once you have the established fan base, sufficiently established, it's fine. Monthly is perfect, but starting out, it's, especially with all the other indie creators you're competing with, it's a bit risky. That's why, especially from many of the indie creators I've watched growing up, when they wanted to have a more consistent schedule, they did stuff weekly-ish. Like, nothing crazy like 20 or 30 pages, like a few pages, maybe 2 to 5. But by doing so and building up intrigue, people stayed, but people watched the material and continued onwards. But yeah, figure out how much you can do. The most important thing is, figure out how much material you can draw and create, and figure how much you can do consistently. And always try having at least a 1-month buffer if possible. Don't bite off more than you can chew, and don't make your don't put too much time into your first true effort. To the point, don't put too much time into your first effort in case you have the situation where there are not enough eyeballs in your work and you're forced to make some changes. Gotcha, gotcha. Alright, let's do Andrew. Good, good, good. Do a test run for 1 month, see how many pages you can do. Let me put it this way. Do a practice run for the month before releasing, and do estimates of how many pages you can do on average, and also put estimates for the low end in case something goes wrong, and the high end if you're really good. Like, if you're really into it. Like, I did something similar when for creating videos for this channel, and that's how I settled for 3 to 4 videos per week here, plus streams on a weekend. 9th up is Marble Garden Ruin by Oscar, 45 plays, score 22. That being said, I also recommend posting the first few pages to multiple image sharing sites to increase chances that people actually see it, to get more eyeballs on it. Alright, if it's a draft chapter and you're willing to post it, sure, you can also I would advise posting to sites like DeviantArt and various other image sharing platforms. You may not get that many eyeballs, if any, but it gets your foot in the door, so to speak. As an indie creator, you want to get as many eyeballs on display as possible. DeviantArt, Tumblr, Pillowfort, Mastodon, etc, etc. Just passing through. What happened there? Have you seen the trailer for the Zelda 2 Wait, there was a Zelda 2 remake? Hang on. Is it fan-made or official? Demon Slayer crossover with more magic. Neat. And to clarify, it is shonen. Fan-made, got it. Let's see, yeah, use DeviantArt, Instagram, Tumblr, Hive, MeWe, Threads, if we're going with the Blue Sky as well. Also, I guess share with the certain Discord servers. Oh, excuse me. The NSF player was on the fritz. That is one thing that you'll have to figure out on your own, whether you can consistently do 40 pages. Especially with all of your other life commitments and responsibilities and duties you have. Got it, fan-made, I'll check. Well, I'll see. I may have another stream tomorrow in the evening. I can do it then. Your initial idea was Magical Girl, but more serious, like Magical Girl Warrior. But evolved beyond that. Fair. Oh, okay. I'll add that to my list. Well, seeing as you're a mod, I can also add that as a birthday game request. So to speak. And besides, I don't really need to play Zelda 1 anyways, because Zelda 2 plays quite differently from Zelda 1 anyways. This is not like the situation with Metroid 1 and Metroid 2, where there's a clear evolution. Like, there are certain things that were evolved from, oops. Like, there are certain things that evolved directly from Zelda 1, but it's more of a side evolution. The way I see it. Boss time. Or mid-boss time. Yeah, Mega Man 5 charge is awesome. At the same time, it is pretty busted. Especially in this game because I can't lose the charge. At least in 5, you lost the charge if you took a hit, if I understand it correctly. Or remember it. Oh, thank goodness. We can continue from the mansion, town, or the dungeon. That's so much more convenient. Especially seeing how tough that game could be. I think you do lose the charge. Like, in 4 you don't lose the charge, but in 5 and 6 you do. That was one way to try balancing it. Although it was still although it was still OP in 5. And forgive me, it's been at least 10 years since I last played Zelda 2. Or 15. Time passes by pretty fast. The secret dungeon piques my fancy though. Or tickles my interests. And yes, all those games are on my to-play list or I've already covered. 9 Years of Shadows I 102% completed. 9 Years, well, I completed. After Image I'm gonna cover eventually, but that's gonna be pretty big. I'm also gonna have to see a background information about the story because the translation of After Image is... not ideal. Whoops. Neat. That's good. I thought that was I was glancing a bit on chat too much. Unfortunately, this is Marble Garden, which was... one of the more forgettable zones for Sonic 3 for me. Like... I don't know if I'd call it boring, but... most forgettable. Especially going in from Angel Island Zone and Hydrocity, or Hydro City. Take your pick. Ah yeah, from the Knuckles portion. As for which is the weakest zone, I don't know. Marble Garden I just feel like is the most boring or dare stage. But I'm not sure if I call that the worst zone. It has a second quest as well. Duly noted. Sandopolis is a zone a lot of people don't really like. But I still say that's a lot more... But I'd still say that it stands out more than Marble Garden. Hydrocity or Hydro City? We're switching the role for this. Well, of course. We're fighting Robotnik on a Sonic and Tails route, so we gotta fly. While he activates his anti-gravity boots to win. What I'm probably gonna do is, I'm gonna play the first quest and the second quest. Because I haven't actually played Zelda 2 on the channel and it's been a while. Plus, it's the HD remake, so more interest. Go for it indeed. I need solid ground. There we go. Perfect! You can remake sort of the classic trilogy. Advanced trilogy may be difficult. I don't know if I should upvote or downvote this, so I'll leave it be. I will say it does replicate the feeling of it's there, like the previous stage, like the original did. I don't know. Be right back in a moment. And I'm back. Sorry for the extended pause there. Busy with other things. Well, there are no other levels in the queue right now, so here's what I'll do. I'll cover 2 popular levels, and then I'll do the rest of Oscar's levels, as they've been waiting there for a while. I would take issue at that point because Eterna Noctis has a different art style than 9 Years of Shadows. Like, they go for a different aesthetic and different feel. Like, ethereal looking is... Sure, Queen Monica. Like, 9 Years of Shadows is like a dark, more haunting art style, whereas 9 Years of Shadows is a very colorful pixel art adventure. Very good, rich, colorful pixel art based ones, whereas Eterna Noctis is a more dark, haunting, hand painted affair. Like, I wouldn't even call 9 Years of Shadows ethereal looking. Like the very dark Dawnblood, dark haunting Dawnblood painterly. 9 Years I wouldn't say ethereal looking. After Image I don't really have enough experience with, so I can't say either way. But yeah, at the very least, take a look at these 3, see if you something works well with you. Cool. I'll take a look at it when we get to art. Which is approaching in about half an hour, in fact. Thank you, Queen Monica. Thank you, Hunter. As you did it before I started doing levels, I'll cover yours right now. Ninth up is I Dare You to Cheese My Level Part 4 by Queen Monica. 14 play, score of 2. You want to make a level that's impossible to cheese. In many cases, that's not too difficult. That could have ended really poorly if they were not different colors. Well, base can't double jump, so that already fixes a lot of potential issues. Or cheese spots. Not saying cheese is bad though. Depends on how it's used. Bye. Or depends on how the cheese is actually executed. Like, if the quote-unquote cheese strat is actually harder to pull off than the intended one, I'm fine with that. It's when the cheese strat makes the entire challenge a lot easier than intended, where it can pose a problem. Especially, more specifically in linear stages. When you have non-linear stages, however, it's a bit more complicated. Well, I interrupted that at least. Oh no. Should have not done that. The part where playing as any other character would actually be a better option. I'd say that colored boss doors are more likely to be added than the tall ones. But an adjustable door height would be nice. That's more than 4, that is. Exactly. I wouldn't put... Like, all their art styles look pretty cool, but... Especially comparing 9 Years with Eterna, I wouldn't put them in the same comparison. Neat. I wouldn't say this is cheesable due to the way the level is designed, but there's certainly more optimal strategies I could have used. Tenth up is Take Me On the Other Side by Hunter57. 48 plays and a score of 15. Oh. The gravity... Basically gravity flipping, isn't it? But the lower side has lower gravity. Of course, be careful of the spikes on the other end. Especially when you have the platforms on the upper end here. If there's a platform on the bottom side, not really an issue. But when it's close to the top, especially when there's a spike... Eep. Oh, oh, wait. Oh, thank goodness it repeatedly loops. For a moment there I thought that was it, but it continuously loops. Which I could have used for the... Actually, I could have used multiple times. Speaking of a non-traditional arena... Short but neat stage, I gotta say. I wish it was twice or 3 times as long and took the other side mechanic further. Like, this is a neat start for a stage, but it sets the foundations pretty well, but it needs to be taken further. There's more than one way to use a mirror, but most skilled players only see the top part. Like I said, it's a neat idea, I just wish the mirror taken further. It didn't feel like 81 screens. Well, of course, it was 40 screens either side. So, time to check out the most popular levels, then I'll loop back to Oscar. Nice! Chapter 1 of the Danganronpa Another Remake is almost done. By the time we get to there, I'll make a decision whether I should do one of 2 things. One, just do Your Turn to Die, or what I can also do is Danganronpa Another, but I doubt the remake will be done by then, so we'll see. Yep, I got NSF replacements. Bunch of them. This sounds neat. Yeah, 1.9 seems exciting. The remake will definitely be a cleaner experience, so, I'm kind of favoring doing Your Turn to Die, but we'll see. Oh, the original was almost purely machine translated, with only a few touch-ups, so a lot of the personalities and other traits were lost. Okay. Twelfth up is Gravity Station by Memiich, with 119 plays and a score of 56. Like, we've already covered 2 Danganronpa games for the quote-unquote visual novel slot. I want to check out something a bit different. Got it. Like, there's a difference between machine translating personalities and versus more handcraftingly doing it. Also, fully HD textures and graphics. Like, you can tell the difference. Danganronpa, for as much as I like it, a lot of the character personality traits can be sussed out pretty quickly. Only 2 segments of the game are left. I can start the LP even if the only 2 segments are left, and I can continue later. Like, if it's a visual novel, it's gonna be fairly long anyways, like... how many chapters are currently in that game? Liking the aesthetics and how the gimmick's progressing so far, but that was only introductions. 3 chapters total, and we're about to enter the second half of Chapter 3. Not to mention the game actually has branching routes. How long is each chapter by perchance? Like, if this is anything like Danganronpa, each chapter will take 3 or 4 streams to complete. So, once we reach that point, I'm fine with waiting. Okay, 3 to 4 hours long, so 2 to 3 streams per chapter. Like I'm assuming there's gonna be a section where, like, daily life, the daily life, investigation, and then the trial. Something like that, but not exactly. Chapter 3 is 10 hours. Ooh. The Chapter 3 is like, at Chapter 3, 4, and 5. So duly noted. I like how it started in the intermediates, but I wish it took its main gimmick further with the gravity. Oh, Chapter 3 is the final chapter. Huh. That's neat. Typically, typically for these sorts of chapters in novels, I prefer if they're more closer to each other in terms of length, but that'll be interesting. I understand longest, but going from about 4 hours long to about 10 hours is quite a jump. Galaxy Man got a lot of stuff in here. Gotcha. Huh. Let me check out this glitch and then we'll do your level, Oscar. Thir 13 Dub is Astrogate Glitch by Julio SMLG. 67 plays, score 28. Fair. That's fair, Iwumi. What is a glitch? We imagine all the trolls you can pull off. Maybe indeed. Well, it did showcase the glitch. Now I'm just waiting for all the Kaizo and Troll levels to take full advantage of this fact. Oh boy, heart-wrenching from beginning to end. Alright. That makes me more intrigued and excited for it. So I think that settles it. I'll probably do your turn. I'll very likely do your turn to die around the middle of the year. "14 Dub is Mega Desert Bus by Oscar. 29 plays, score 7. Bye. If you know what Desert Bus is, well, you're traveling from somewhere to Las Vegas and it takes about 8 hours. But this stage is a lot shorter than that, so I'll just do it manually. It's functionally a straight line. For this stage, it's functionally a straight line, but in that one, the bus actually slightly veers off the road, so you have to be paying attention to the game and you can't leave it continuously running. Because if you go off-road, that counts as game over, and then you have to start the entire trip over from the beginning. Which means that if you game over, for instance, 7 hours into the run, you have to start all the way back and go another 7 hours plus the 1 to get back. Arizona to Las Vegas, yeah. And the current Steam release has a lot of bonus content, not the OG Steam version. Good. Oh yeah, not to mention, while we wait, we can always just take the alternate route. And that can add some extra time. OG free release, yeah. It's funny that we can slide faster than ride the bus. Alright, 8-hour trip done in 90 seconds. This is what Desert Freaks is parroting. Okay. 15 Dub is Oil Ocean Factory by Oscar. 32 play, score of 8. Please submit any levels you have. If you don't, I'll just pick another level from the popular queue and then end off. There's a lot of side stories in the Steam version that focuses on the characters' lives before the death game. Oof. Yeah, I'll be covering those as well. Why not? Oil leaking. This is based off Oil Ocean from Sonic 2, and, well, Sonic Mania took it from Sonic 2. Yeah, I don't blame you. I kind of forget that Tail exists outside some of the music tracks. Like, there are two or three, there are two or three, boss tracks as well as, two or three fortress teams I really like from that game. The rest are kind of not bad, but eh. Sure thing, Monica. Could we do the sprite limitation? Could we do the limitations? And thank you for reminding me to cover Mega Serval. I will do that eventually. Monica came first, so they take first dibs. Probably the one for Sonic Mania. Oil Ocean was one of my less favorite zones from Sonic 2. I still like it more than Metropolis Zone, I think. Like, my least three favorite zones in that game are Metropolis, Oil Ocean, and Hilltop. Okay. Get out, get up! Should've slid more. Touchy foot. If I was just a millisecond faster. Mystic Cave is neat, even though I mostly forget about its existence, actually. That's the funny thing. Like, Mystic Cave exists in Sonic 2, but I keep forgetting that it exists. Well, if there's one thing you didn't you definitely recreated or redux the Bottle the Axe. Ouch. Ah, yes. And that pit leads over to Hidden Palace Zone in what remix. Whoa. Found Eggman's secret stash. Alright. Well, not the boss yet. My bad. Eat. I almost died there because I didn't get the damage boost. I guess the boss is next? Yeah. Well, that's one way to have him. It sort of did, yeah. Okay, one more stage and then we'll end off. Green marker was first, so they take priority. And it's also by Orlando. So the 16th and final level of this stream is Mega Man Altogether Level 013 Attracting Enemy Forces by Orlando Masuro. 26 plus 6. That being plays plus score. It's fine, Oscar. Enjoy your trip. Let's get some new music, please. And give this one a victory to Proto Man. Not doing this at 1 HP, please. I know this is easy mode, but the stage isn't really that difficult anyways. Now watch as I somehow accidentally die, for extra hilarity. Enjoy, Fire Sawdust. Enjoy. Good luck. See you tomorrow. I don't know what to say about this other than it's a neat little electrical themed obstacle course. Magnetic. But it's kind of forgettable. Alright, unlike last time, I'm gonna purchase something. However, because the checkpoint's right before the shop, I can be extra cheesy and do stuff like this. See? Now I can actually grab in more items after grabbing the M-Tank. Probably should put a checkpoint right under the M-Tank, so if we grab it, we can't just re-grab the other things. Or grab more than what we're supposed to. G to the G. You're welcome, Oscar. Just existed. So overall, of the 16 levels I covered in today's morning stream, my favorite one would be Mini Rocket Maze by Adorable Wiener, with an honorable mention going to Base the Speed Demon by Snoozy. Unfortunately, this selection of levels this week was kind of mostly bleh, or meh, or forgettable. But not all weeks can be winners, I'm afraid. Sorry. So let's see what music we can use. Well, seeing as it's Sonic 3's anniversary, I'll play something similar to that. I don't think they respawn, but don't quote me on that. So, let's see. See you later. Alright. Think we're good. So with all of that said and done, it is time for the art showcase. More Metal Sonic Apparition fan-made mockups. Sonic EXE. Tropical Trend Zone. Random Sonic Team tileset comp. I think we've seen these before, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, not this one though. Aurora Snowland. Annex and other stuffs. Sorry, Queen Monica was faster than you. And that was the last one I would cover. Neat. Oasis Palace. Carnival tile concept. Insert carnival or amusement park stuff. Trio gang. Mario, Mallow, Gino. Drawn by your little sister. Wow. The right hand looks a little bit small relative to the head. Proportions a little bit... that's mostly fine. Proportions could use a little bit of work, but otherwise, pretty well done. Like the rose, a flower. From the Metal Gear Rising community. Mortal, stop that blade. Knight. The Lich from Adventure Time. Oh no, not Lich. Orgalorg. Sorry, I didn't read the title. I haven't gone that far into Adventure Time yet, so I don't recognize this character, but... sheesh. Creepy. Eggman Dinner Time. Sandwich. The Year of Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic X Shadow Generations. The Ultimate Ship. Guild Cheese. Ah, Shiny Sylph and regular Sylph. What if other Pokemon got Pecharunt's Toxic Chain? Okay, let's see it.
Other Pokemon the Toxic Chain. A male Salandit dreamed of evolving just like its female counterpart. Pecharunt turns it into a legendary called Razzle Dazzle, who wishes to become more courageous. It makes a deal with Pecharunt and becomes Hootenanny. Yes, I know this doesn't fit the story of Momotaro, just bear with me. I challenged other artists to make their own silly named Pokemon. This artist made Mousehold into Squeaky Peasy. One of the baby mice wished to rule over its parents. It now has complete control of the family.
Whoa.
They also made Pisa Drake. Dunsparce wished to become a dragon. It's now got dragon type. And this artist made Lickety Split.
But that's what the chain is
who
for.
wished to be more rebellious, it now uses its Toxic Chain tongue to mentally break people down. He could even give the chain to legendary Pokemon. He didn't give it a pun name because they didn't see my post on Twitter, but still this art is amazing.
Neat. Mini Mario. Mini SMG4 skin. Magical Tower. The whole gang's here. Not sure which Precure series it's crossing over with. Okay, art you did a while ago of your manga as protagonist. Neat. I'd say in the future to please take a screenshot, but this suffices. I like the art style and color scheme. A little bit simplified, but sleek, works. Yeah, the reason why I say to please pick this, try doing screenshots in the future, as apparently this is on Google Play, is that, well, it kind of distorts, it alters the color schemes and the angle can mess things up a bit, but this is far from the worst camera post I've seen. It at least looks, it looks fairly decent, and it gets all the things necessary done. Like, the colors don't look washed out or odd. It's very parsable. Sleek. With no logo. That's fine. It's fine. This is good enough. It gets the general gist of what you're going for. Well, more than general, to be fair. Alrighty then, with that, this marks the end of the stream. Thank you to everyone who either submitted their levels, their art, or just participated in chat. It's due to your continued support why I continue to produce new content for the channel. It is really appreciated. So, if you're enjoying this or any other piece of the content on the channel, please rate, comment, favorite, and or subscribe, as they all help it out. Don't forget to follow me on X, Mastodon, co-host, and Blue Sky as well, and join my Discord server, as I regularly post updates there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in a future Let's Play